grab a drink, get comfy, and prepare to learn about
the strange, the unusual, and the downright stupid things you didn't think that you needed to know about.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Brooke. And this is Drunk in the Library.
We're
back on our old shit.
Yeah.
And welcome to Not So Drunk in the Library.
Yeah. And also no Spooktober.
I know. I'm really sad about it.
I'm so sad about it.
Well, sorry, I'm very dehydrated.
And by dehydrated, she means hungover.
I'm like half hungover, but like I'm drinking fucking Glacier Cherry Gatorade today because I'm not feeling so hot. Because I drank a lot of tequila last night for Halloween. Anyway, we don't have any questions, comments, concerns, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Real quick, don't forget to support, like, subscribe, comment, rate, review. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't already. Mm-hmm. And I think that is pretty much it. Dive right into it, I guess.
Cool.
You're up first, Brooke?
Yes, I am. So I have a little short story for you today, but It's been on my list for a while, so I figured I'd finally do it. I know Spooktober is over, but this is still kind of like a creepy thing. Cause
we could keep that going throughout the whole year.
Oh, I'll keep it going as long as I like.
My heart is always in Spooktober.
Me too, and I feel like I always pick creepy topics anyway because that's the shit that interests me.
Right.
So, and I like it. So this one's kind of weird and unusual. So I'll tell you a little short story so I create some suspense here.
Okay.
So my sources are Wikipedia, Medium.com, and ScienceAlert.com. On August 20th, 2007, a girl was visiting Jedediah Island in British Columbia. She was from Washington State, and she happened to stumble upon a shoe on the beach.
Okay.
Inside this shoe was a sock. Inside this sock was a human foot.
Okay.
No body attached to this foot. Over the next 12 years, a total of 21 feet would be found along the Pacific Northwest coast, creating this morbid mystery known as the Salish Sea feet.
This is my worst nightmare.
Imagine you're just traipsing along the beach and you're like, oh, a shoe. And it has a foot in it.
I mean, I've definitely seen shoes on the beach. I've never walked up to one to find out if there was a foot inside.
Well, you won't after this story.
No, so. I won't.
So they found a second foot off of Gabriola Island in British Columbia on August 26, 2007. So
okay.
It's literally a week.
Yeah.
No, it's not even in this. It's in the same week. So in the same week, they find another foot. So they noticed that these two, the shoes were like a limited production that was anywhere between like 2004 and 2005.
Okay.
So there was some kind of connection, but I don't think that they were thinking that it was like some kind of murderer on the loose that was like severing people's feet.
Okay.
So then they found a third foot in February, in 2008, near the mouth of the Fraser River. I don't really know where that is, though, but these are all in the same area. So where the Salish Sea is, it's in this tiny little strip of land, or strip of water between British Columbia and, the United States. So we kind of share it.
Okay.
So obviously the feet that were found in Canada, those authorities have to deal with it while we have to deal with the other ones.
Right.
So they just kept finding feet. Like, it was like...
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I hope there's answers.
I hope we have answers to them. So they found a fourth foot in May, a fifth foot in June. So at least once a year, a foot was washing up on these beaches. The most recent one...
Were they Were they full feet or were they skeletonized?
Some of
How
them,
decayed were they?
some of them were like a full-blown foot. Some of them were decayed, which I'll answer some of the questions about that because that was my concern. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck? So the most recent one was in 2019.
Okay.
I think it was in January, if I'm not mistaken. So of the 20 feet that they found, 15 were on the Canada side, while the remaining 5 were on the were in Washington State.
Okay.
I think the last one that they found also was in the United States. I can't remember, and I don't know if I put it in here. So they're, obviously, like, finding a bunch of feet in the same area is gonna...
It's a little sus.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Something's going on.
Yeah, so upon examining all of them, they didn't think it was foul play. Surprisingly enough.
How could this many feet not be foul play?
There's explanations for this. So some of the first ones that they started thinking was that it was like from people who died in like boating accidents or like there was a plane crash that was in the area. So like it could have been like apparently where your ankle meets your foot is a really weak spot. So that
okay. So like it could just get chopped off.
It detaches first.
Okay.
So like when you're sitting in the water that long, that is such a tender and weak spot that's going to decay first. So like these feet are going to just detach. Like there was none of the feet that
sounds sus, but okay.
none of the feet that they found looked like they had been like severed clean off.
Okay.
So like they look like they all had naturally come away from the rest of the leg. Okay. If that makes sense.
Sure.
I feel like you're doubting me.
Am I buying it 100%? No.
Look, as somebody,
but I'm gonna go along with it.
As somebody who saw the pictures of these feet, even though I know I shouldn't have, I did it anyway because I have a very awful morbid curiosity. They look like they came off pretty clean on their own accord.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm trusting you.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of severed feet on the internet this week, all right? So, it was disgusting, by the way. So they think that either it was that, or they could have been from like suicides, like because there's a nearby bridge that a lot of people jump from.
Okay.
So when like this, the only thing that I don't understand about this is how the body decays in this whole situation because like. Why are there not other, like, body parts?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm struggling with.
Yes. So that was the hardest part that I, like, had to figure out with this. So they think a lot of them were suicides because, like, they started doing, like, DNA tests to figure out, okay, who the fuck's foot is this?
Yeah.
They were able to link it back to, I think, 15 people. Out of
20 feet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, out of the...
So we had a couple of matching sets.
Yes, they did, which is weird. That's really unusual
that's very weird, yeah.
to find the other foot.
Yeah.
But, like, the patterns of these people indicated that they were severely depressed and probably did try to take their own lives. So, like, they think that a lot of these might have been suicide attempts, or if somebody was... Like, I know it's even happened around here. Like, you could be running along, like, a walkway somewhere, trip, fall down into, like, some rocks, and ravine, next thing you know, you're out to sea. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, so some of those things could have been like that, where it was, like, an accidental death. So, the other theory, which I don't really buy this one too much, was that there was a tsunami in Japan. I think there was one in 2014. I think there was another one in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But... they were finding shoes that dated, like, from 2004, 2005 and back, but they didn't find any more, like, recent ones, so they were thinking that it might have been, like, tsunami victims that were, like, finally getting, like, yeah, and, like, the currents were washing them back up, and just the way that the patterns in the water were, that it was washing those ashore, just, like, happenstance on that area. Mm-hmm. But, like...
I still want to know why just the feet. Like...
So, the theory
I don't believe that any less than the rest of this.
So, from what I understood of this, with the shoes that these people were wearing, they float. So, shoes are more likely to, like, float up to the top after, like, your foot has detached from your leg.
Okay.
So, therefore, like, that stuff can float away while the rest of you is probably just going to settle down at the bottom of the ocean.
See, now that is starting to make sense. Plus,
So,
like, if that shoe's trying to float and it's causing, like, pressure on the rest of your body as you're decaying, I guess that foot would be even more likely to sever because you've got, like, these two pressures pulling at opposite ends.
Probably. I mean, like, it's not acting like a life jacket where you're, like, dangling upside down by your feet in the ocean. But, like, yeah, for the most part, like, it's going to cause some issues there.
Yeah.
So the other problem with all of this was that, like, the body apparently, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it produces adipocere.
Okay.
Which is, like, a soapy substance made out of, like, your body fat, and that makes it hard to, like, identify bodies.
Okay.
So, like, some of these people, like, they had a hard time identifying who they were because, like, the feet are, like, especially prone to that. I don't know why, but they are. So, just, like, thinking... Sorry. Just thinking about, like, that, like, filmy substance, like, sitting on these severed feet.
Ew. No, thank you.
So that kind of made it hard, but... As I said, the one thing that they definitely could determine was that there was no, like, marks on the feet that would, like, indicate that, like, they were hacked up in any way.
Okay.
So they really do think that it was, like, either suicide or an accidental death or, like, tsunami. But I really don't buy the tsunami thing. But, like, one of the things that I found said a foot may float as far as 1,000 miles.
Wow.
But, like, I find that weird because, like, ocean life. Like, you're telling me the fish aren't going to eat that?
Well, that's what I was thinking, was, like, how are these feet escaping consumption?
Yeah, like, I found a lot of, like, conflicting data, and then I had to go and, like, separately look up how long it takes a body to decay in water, which gave me...
A long time, right?
No. Which gave me an even different answer than what I already had in here. So, one of the sources said that, a human body can remain intact in water for as long as 3 decades.
Right.
But, like, that's in optimal conditions. That's what that said. It has to be, like, perfect conditions for it to stay like that. But I saw another one that said that, like, it really only takes, like, a week or so for, like, your skin to just completely be picked from your body.
Well, that would... I mean, sure, in optimal conditions, it might last 30 or 30-ish years, but, like, you're gonna get eaten before that happens.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know why why fish weren't, like, picking at it.
Right.
Like, they were, like, I found that, they were like, oh, well, the shoe protects most of the foot, but, like, if you're still chewing at the ankle, you're gonna get down to, like, the rest of the foot in there, I would think. Huh. I don't know. But it was really interesting. So yeah, they said that the ocean currents are probably carrying all of this stuff, and it's just getting trapped in that area, which is why they're washing up on those beaches. It's just weird to me that all of a sudden that started happening. Like, you hit 2007, and it's like, okay, now there's going to be feet on the beach once a year for the rest of our lives. Like,
this is just who we are now.
This is it. I did find information that, like, one of the first times that this happened was in, like, the 1800s.
Okay. So, like, it has happened previously.
Yeah, but, like, it wasn't numerous feet. Like, somebody found, like, a foot in a boot on the beach.
Okay.
And I think the area ended up being called, like, Leg and Boot Square or something like that. And then it did happen another time, but, like, these were isolated incidents. It wasn't, like, it was a continuous thing where now you're, like, walking along the beach praying to God you're not going to find a foot because the chances are pretty fucking high.
I wonder if that could have to do with the materials that we started making shoes out of.
Well, there was another thing that I found which I thought was interesting because it brought up the Titanic and, like, how so many people were dead in the water, but, like, their shoes were made out of leather.
So they sunk.
Yes, but the leather doesn't decay as, like, quickly as, like, some other materials.
Okay.
So, like, that's why if you go down to the Titanic, you're going to find shoes that are, like, completely intact.
Right.
But that was where I found, like, information, too, that said, like, there could still be bodies down there.
Well, yeah.
That are trapped and, like, still pretty well preserved. But that doesn't make sense to me.
Because it's been 100 years versus that one thing that said 30.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, the other part of the internet,
like, the waters are so cold that that's helping to preserve the bodies.
I guess so. Well, that was another thing about the Salish Sea is that, like, it's, basically there's, like, not, it's facing, I think it's called, like, hyperexia.
Okay.
So, like, there's not enough oxygen in the water anymore. Like, the oxygen is, like, just slowly coming out of that water there. Which is making it hard for there to be a lot of, like, sea life, which I guess makes sense then as to why the feet are intact.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's not a lot of sea life to go and pick at the feet because there's not enough oxygen in the water to sustain them.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, we know that there's a lot of creatures at the bottom of the ocean where the Titanic is, so, like, you're not going to find
fully preserved
things down there.
At least, like, not until you get into, like, the real deep depths of there where, like, maybe even fish, like, can't get in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they think that there's, like, pockets in there that, like, people are still trapped in, but, so they kind of haven't really solved, like, too much of it. It's just kind of random. Like, it's so weird. It's just, but that's
very
what it is.
Weird.
It's just random. Like, some of them are suicide, some of them are accidental. They've identified most of the people and are working on the other ones. But they think that there could be, like, think about how many bodies are in the fucking ocean, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
So, who knows?
Innumerable.
Yeah, innumerable bodies. So, like, some of them might be people who, like, were before DNA was even, like, possible to be collected, which is why they can't identify them. Some of, like, the sadder ones, though, because I was reading on Wikipedia, like, they have a list of, like, where the feet were found, if they were identified, and, like, who they belonged to. And, like, some of the ones that weren't identified were, like, kids.
Oh.
So, like, that, I mean, I would like to think that that's not a suicide.
No. I mean, those could be likely candidates for the tsunami.
True.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It's just so weird that would survive that long.
Yeah.
And then I did put, like, so decomposition may separate the foot from the body because the ankle is weak. And buoyancy by air, either inside or trapped within a shoe, would allow it to float away. So that's how that works. And then it said extremities such as hands, feet, and the head often detach as the body decomposes in water, although they rarely float. So that stuff would also detach pretty easily, but, like, you'd never see it again.
Right, yeah, because there's no air in your brain.
Nope. I mean, the skull is not going to go floating up on the fucking beach anywhere. So they think that it's actually kind of weird, though, that they didn't find any other parts of the body. Like,
yeah,
even if they're down, like, the bottom of the ocean, currents can well that stuff up onto a beach again. I mean, think about all the shit that comes up on beaches anyway that's probably been sitting on the fucking bottom of the ocean.
I mean, whole whales wash up on beaches. Yeah. And you're telling me a hand can? Yeah. But a foot can? Like...
Yeah. So they said that it's 1,000,000 to 1 odds finding 2 feet. Like, if you find, like, a matching pair. I didn't know how else to word that.
A whole set, if you will.
Yeah, so they describe that as, like, an anomaly if you find the set of feet.
Okay.
So when they found a 3rd foot, it was that was the first time that something like that has ever happened, where they just found them, like, within weeks of each other.
Okay.
And then the 4th one made it curious.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of funny to me. They started ranking them. They're like, yeah, it's just an anomaly. Well, now that's curious. And I think that they found pairs to most of...
Well, you said that 15 out of 20... they have identified 15 out of 20 victims, you know, in quotes.
Yeah. So I think quite a few of them, I think half of maybe that 15 were, like, they found both feet.
So weird.
I know.
This is weird.
Yeah, I know. Well, one of them they found, and then, like, I think it was, like, 3 or 4 days later, they found the second one that went with it.
Huh. I wonder if they, like, matched them up on a table, if they have the shoes there, you know, left and right.
They have pictures of all the shoes. It's really weird, because, like, as I said, you have that breakdown on Wikipedia that has, like, a chart with everything, and it shows you the shoes, and they're all, like, running sneakers.
I guess it is just because, like, they're, like, running sneakers are, like, foamy, so there's a lot of, like, air that can be held in those.
Yeah, well, they were saying, like, that's why you're not going to see, like, high heels or sandals, because that stuff's not going to float.
Right.
A running sneaker will. I think they did find, like, one boot, maybe.
Okay.
But, like, That
That could have just been, like chance.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't even know if that was one of the ones that was identified.
That, like I said, too, that could also explain why this didn't start happening until recently, because we started, like, changing the materials we used to make shoes out of. There's less, like, desire for, like, leather or, like, high quality materials for shoes and like, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. It's just weird.
It is very weird.
When I first read about it, I'm like, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck is going on up there? Because to me, I'm like, oh, murders.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. This is some weird ass serial killer shit.
Nope.
Huh.
That's what makes it so
Mother
weird.
Nature, the serial
is
killer.
that it's literally none of them were murdered.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm. So there that is.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I think.
Just know that if you die in the ocean, your feet will come detached from your body first.
Yeah. And also probably my head, but that won't float.
Yeah. Your feet will float away, though.
They will, yes.
You will forever be conscious of what shoes you wear.
All right.
There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Let's take a short break and then we'll go into a new topic. All right, it's all you.
Okay. So my sources are Wikipedia, OBS, Britannica.com, chateaudeversailles.fr, which I assume means like .French.
What was it?
.fr.
France, yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so in 1772, King Louis XV made a diamond necklace for his sweetheart, Madame du Barry. The necklace cost 2 million livres, which I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation of that, but that was like the French money at the time.
Okay.
Which is the equivalent of 15.1 million US dollars today.
I'll never know what that looks like.
I know. It contained 650 diamonds and weighed 2,800 carats.
I don't understand carrots, so continue.
That's a lot. That's a lot of carrots.
I understand carrots in like vegetable form, but not in diamond form.
That's more than you'll ever see combined in your entire life.
We're lucky if I see a half a carrot.
I'm including museums.
That's unreal. But okay.
He commissioned Charles Auguste Boehmer and Paul Bessange to create this masterpiece for him. It would take the pair several years to get all of the necessary diamonds for such an extravagant necklace. During this time, Louis XVI would die.
Of course he would.
And then Louis XV, and then his grandson Louis XVI would take the throne. Louis XVI did not like Du Barry and had her like ejected from court, basically. So the necklace did never make it to Du Barry. The jewelers then tried to sell this necklace to Louis XVI, saying that it would make like a wonderful present for his new wife, Marie Antoinette.
I know what this is.
Oh yeah, do you?
I think I do, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm gonna tell the story anyway.
I know, but I think I know what this is.
It's called The Affair of the Necklace.
No, never mind.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about then.
All right. But Marie Antoinette did not like this necklace.
Okay.
So she turned it down, and she's like quoted as saying, "We have more need of 74s," which was like a type of ship, than of necklaces. Mm-hmm. Some people say that she actually just refused it because it had been made for Du Barry instead of her, and she was not a fan of Du Barry. The jewelers tried to sell the necklace outside of France, but still had no luck. After Marie had her son Louis Joseph, Dauphin of France, Boehmer and Bessange once again tried to sell her the necklace, and she once again refused it.
Okay.
Self-proclaimed Countess de la Motte, Jeanne, I literally cannot say this last name, Jeanne de Lavoie Saint-Remy, got word of this very, very fancy necklace, and de la Motte was like a notorious trickster.
Okay.
And kind of just like a con woman.
Okay.
So she was a descendant of an illegitimate son of Henry II of France. And had just kind of, like, weaseled her way into, like, a false good position in society. Like, she was that bitch that, like, you know, you let her at the party, but, like, nobody likes her. You know? They're talking shit behind her the back. Because, like, her stuff is made of the fanciest stuff, but she thinks she's hot shit. Yeah. She and her husband, Nicolas de la Motte, lived off of, like, a small pension that was given to them by the king. In 1785, de la Motte became the mistress of Cardinal de Rohan. Now, Rohan was on Marie Antoinette's shit list already because he had, like, spread some nasty rumors about her to her mom, who was the Empress of Austria.
Okay.
So both the Empress and the Queen were, like, not on speaking terms with this dude. They were like, nah, fuck this guy. So de Rohan obviously wanted to win back Marie Antoinette's favor because in the Queen's favor is where you want to be.
Yeah.
So he sought guidance from his lady friend de la Motte. She said that she was friends with the Queen, which was, like, not really true.
Bullshit.
And that she would be more than happy to help him get back in her favor. And she basically began setting up fake correspondence between the two. He would, like, write a letter to the Queen, and she would write one back.
So, like, when you're a kid and you write a letter to Santa,
yeah,
and then your parents write one back.
Yeah. That's basically it, yes.
Okay.
So, the tone of the fake Queen's letters began to, like, grow warm and kind, and de Rohan came to believe that the Queen was in love with him, and in return became infatuated with her.
Oh, God.
So de Rohan begged de la Motte to set up a secret rendezvous between the pair, under the cover of night, obviously, because that's when all good love affairs happen. De la Motte hired a prostitute to pretend to be Marie Antoinette, and sent her to meet up with de Rohan.
What the fuck?
This is a bizarre story, man. This is a weird one.
Oh my God.
The imposter assured de Rohan that he was in good standing with her, and he left the meeting feeling, like, real good about his relationship with the Queen.
Okay.
Around this time, de la Motte began borrowing large sums of money from de Rohan, claiming that they were going to charities on the Queen's behalf. She also began to insinuate that there may have been more going on between the Queen and herself.
Oh.
Yes. And these rumors began to spread around town, obviously, because that's some salacious shit.
Hell yeah, it is.
Now, in the meantime, Beaumer and Bassange are still having a really hard time selling this necklace.
Okay.
They have lowered the cost down to 1.6 million livers.
Yes, a low price. For the low price of
$14.5 million.
Yes, that makes it a ton more affordable now.
Yes, the layman can afford this necklace now.
Well, once again, for the commoner.
But still, they have no takers. What a surprise. So they ask de la Motte to help them sell the necklace, and she agrees. Originally, like, turning down a commission, but then deciding, like, you know what? No, I'm going to take a commission on that.
Why the fuck would she turn down a commission on that?
I don't know. Maybe she was, like, pretending to be pretentious, like, oh, I don't need a commission for that.
I'd be like, yes, I do.
So, Jean started sending letters to, Jean is de la Motte's real name, began to send letters again to de Rohan, posing as the Queen again, demanding that he buy her the necklace. So, in January of 1785, de la Motte told de Rohan that Marie Antoinette wanted to buy the necklace, but felt that she could not be seen buying something so extravagant and pricey, and she wanted the cardinal to act as a secret intermediary to buy it.
Okay.
So Rohan negotiated the price for 2 million livers. I don't know why they brought the price back up. I don't know.
When you negotiate...
Aren't you supposed to try and get it down? I don't know. Maybe they stacked her commission on top of that. I don't know. There wasn't much information on that part. And it was going to be paid in installments. The jewelers were, like, shown a letter with the conditions for the sale by the Queen, in quotes, because the Queen didn't actually do any of this, and brought the necklace to de Rohan's house. A man that de Rohan was told was a valet of the Queen then took the necklace for delivery to the Queen.
Of course he did.
The necklace was promptly broken down and sold on the black market by de la Motte.
What a shock!
I'm so surprised.
What? What do you mean?
My favorite part of all of this is the next... Oh, so obviously the first payment on the installment was not made. And the jewelers reached out to Marie Antoinette herself to be like, hey man, what happened? And she was just like, I literally don't know what you're talking about. I've denied you that necklace like 6 times.
She's like, that necklace
not interested.
Is fugly, and I don't want it.
So this is like my favorite part of the story because I can just imagine it happening so clearly as if we were in a movie. So they're having some like fancy ass king and queen dinner. They're gonna be doing some like big time praying as you did in pre-Revolutionary War France.
Okay.
And the Cardinal de Rohan is going to be officiating those prayers.
Okay.
So prior to the officiation of the praise, the king and queen call de Rohan in and just like drop all of the false letters in front of him and are like, do you want to explain this?
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So they arrested him, obvi, because that was weird.
I think that was me.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
The letters were like super sus because the fake Marie Antoinette had signed her name Marie Antoinette de France, which apparently is not how real royals like sign their name on letters. So they signed with like their baptismal names.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Weird.
But they were kind of like, dude, you should have known. You're a cardinal. You gave me my baptismal name. You should have known that I'm not signing these.
You fucking dumbass.
You dummy.
Oh my
So
God.
Rohan was arrested and he was sent to Bastille. He was sent in order to have like his correspondences destroyed. So that gave de la Motte a couple of days. She was arrested 3 days later and had time to destroy all of her own correspondences and all of the evidence. The prostitute that pretended to be the queen was arrested. The man who forged the queen's handwriting in the letters was arrested. And then, like, some other random-ass dude was arrested as well.
They were like, just for fun, we're taking you too.
I literally wrote, but that last man may or may not have had anything to do with this. The cardinal was eventually acquitted by the Parliament of Paris because he was just an idiot. Like, he didn't actually do anything wrong, really. De la Motte, however, did not get off that easily. She was found guilty and sentenced to whipping, and she was also branded with the letter V on both of her shoulders, which stood for, like, the French word for thief. And she was sent to the prostitutes' prison, Salpêtrière.
Oh.
Do you have questions about there being a specific prison for
Yes.
prostitutes?
Why?
I don't have answers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they had lesser punishments or worse punishments. I don't know.
Maybe.
Also, what was she doing there?
Maybe
She was
they
like a
thought
hard
that,
criminal.
like, if they put her, or if they put, like, the prostitutes in with the regular people, that, like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because they could just prostitute in there, too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know. But, I mean, like, personally, if I was a sex worker, and I don't care where you're putting me.
I'm going to try and have sex.
Yeah. I'm going to do what I was born to do.
And that's sell my body.
I don't care if it's to another sex worker or to
We
a
could work
criminal.
out an arrangement. I service you, you service me.
No payment needed. That is the payment.
Her husband was also tried in absentia, which basically just means like he wasn't present for the trial.
Okay.
And he was condemned to be a galley slave.
What is that?
Just like a slave, basically. Galley is a kitchen, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming he was like a kitchen worker.
Oh.
The forger was banished.
Okay.
A year later, de la Motte escaped prison and just like went and hid in the countryside.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So at this point, public opinion was largely similar to the court findings. The queen was innocent, de Rohan was innocent, and de la Motte was the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
However, there was a sizable group of people who thought that Marie Antoinette had known about this and was using the de la Mottes as like a tool to act on her hatred for the Cardinal de Rohan.
Okay.
This eventually led to the decline in the queen's popularity in France. Yeah.
And it's all history from there.
Pretty much, yeah. Some anti-queen literature came out, and the queen was forced to stop making public appearances altogether, which added to her bad reputation. It's a spiral.
Yeah,
really.
it is.
Marie had done a lot of like lavish and unnecessary spending in her early life as queen, and many felt that the affair of the necklace was just like a continuation of that. So basically, this incident caused Marie Antoinette to be beheaded eventually.
Sweet.
That's where this is heading.
So they never found, like, the pieces of the necklace?
Nope,
ever?
she broke it down, and they weren't able to, like, trace it after that.
I mean, with that high of carats...
So the carats were broken up. It wasn't one diamond.
Okay.
They have, like, a recreation of what they think the necklace looked like. It's an interesting-looking piece. But it's, like, a bunch of different diamonds. It was made up of over 600 diamonds.
So collectively, that's how many carats it was. Okay, I thought each diamond was that many carats.
Oh my god, I don't think there's that many carats in the world.
I don't know. I mean, I know nothing. So that's why I was like, well, couldn't they just, like, look at a certain diamond that somebody had on the black market and be like, this has so many carats that, like, this probably is one of those diamonds, but...
No, I think, I mean, like, if you split up 2,800 carats over 650 diamonds... Not every one of them is going to be super impressive.
Yeah.
You know? Most of them are going to be worth, like, 3 or 4 carats at the max.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, like, that's still a pretty impressive carat for a diamond.
Yeah.
Again, more than we'll see, but...
They said, I don't even know if I'll ever see a half a carat.
I think my engagement ring is, like, 1/4 of a carat, so I would need a lot of those to make up that necklace.
Yeah, you would.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you were going to start talking about the Hope Diamond.
No.
Because I thought that originated sometime during that time period,
It might have. I don't actually know a ton about the Hope Diamond.
That's on my list of
I know
things.
it's haunted.
I know it is too, which is why I still haven't done it as a topic, because I'm scared. I'm genuinely afraid that talking about it is going to haunt me. Like, get a haunting
fair.
on me.
That's fair. I feel that way about that one doll.
Yes, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain
I'm
things...
not going to ever do that because I don't want to have to ask for permission.
But the information is, like, so much information.
Yeah, so I just thought this was, like, really interesting and really bizarre because
I didn't know
literally had, like, direct connections to the French Revolution, but I had never heard of it before.
I have never heard of it either.
Yeah. Apparently a movie was made about it in, like,
Really?
2001, yeah.
Do you know what it was called?
The Affair of the Diamond.
Oh.
Or The Affair of the Necklace.
Huh. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
See. I'm curious as to who's in it.
I don't think it was anybody super popular from what I was, like, looking at.
Oh.
I don't think it was, anyway. Also, side note, the movie Marie Antoinette.
Top notch.
Fucking
Chef's
love
kiss.
that movie.
I really do, too. It's so good.
So good.
Oh, man. We need more, like, historical movies like that. Although that one's not...
It's not, like, accurate,
No.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's good. It's a good time.
Sofia Coppola directed that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's great.
She is great. She did a couple other movies that I still haven't seen yet, but
I know.
I want to.
Yeah, me too.
Because I like that, like, fun take on, like, historical stuff.
Maybe we can find one to watch after this.
Probably. Didn't she do The Beguiled?
Yes, that's one that I really want to do. I think Kirsten Dunst is in that as well.
She is. And somebody else that we know, too. Elle Fanning? Is she in that? She might be in that.
She might be in that, yeah. Sounds like an Elle Fanning kind of thing to do.
I just associate Elle Fanning now
with period pieces because of The Great.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
Chef's Kiss.
That's another topic I want to cover one day, too.
It's like the same, like, kind of vibe as Marie Antoinette, where it, like, it's poking fun at history.
Yeah. But The Great is, like, that deters very much from regular history.
Yes, a ton.
Oh, yeah. That's not even...
Yeah.
Not accurate at all, but
that's
it's great.
Good one.
Oh, man.
Alrighty.
Are you reading anything?
I'm just rereading Red Queen. Well, I'm now on book 2 of the Red Queen series, yeah.
I feel like you literally just started
I
Red
flew
Queen.
through the first book.
Are you listening to it on an audiobook?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude.
I literally thought that you told me, like, 2 days ago, I think I'm going to restart it, and then, like, all of a sudden, now you're done with it.
I got through it really fast. I spent a lot of time listening to it.
Holy...
Because it's so good.
I know, it is really
so good. And I'm on book 2, and I'm really realizing, you know what, like, one of my favorite tropes is? Platonic, like, sleeping together when two people have really bad PTSD.
Huh.
It's like they do it in Hunger Games, they do it in this. I love it. I love it. There's just something about getting somebody through hard stuff.
They did it in A Court of Thorns and Roses.
I was
the
trying
second
to
one.
remember if it happened in A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Not in the first book. I think it's in the second book because I feel like somebody did a TikTok about this, like that it's always like two damaged individuals have to share a bed.
Yes.
They're like they're on this quest and then they go and they find like they come to like a hotel or an inn in the middle of the night, but of course there's only one bed and they have to share that bed together.
Okay, now I remember that scene, yeah. There's just something about that like, it really hits me hard.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, Katniss and Peeta literally spend their whole lives doing that, and it just, like...
Yeah.
Feels so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, book tropes that I'm starting to realize that I'm, like, real into.
Yeah.
Like, people who hate each other and then end up being in love.
Enemies to lovers, yes. That's a very popular one.
Love it. Because I feel like that would be my story.
Oh, probably.
I feel like I would fall in love with the person I fucking hate.
Lovers, yes.
Because I hate everybody, so it's probably not that hard. But, man, it's so good. I like that tension, too. Yeah. That build, that it's like, are they going to fucking murder each other, or are they going to sleep together?
Yeah.
Or both.
Hopefully it's both.
What's going to happen here?
Yeah.
I just finished, what was I reading? House of Salt and Sorrow.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, I liked it, actually.
Good, okay.
So, when I first started reading it, so it's a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, which I had to look up what exactly that was about, because I did not know. Apparently, 12 Dancing Princesses is about, like, the king is super strict, locks them all in their room at night so that they can't leave. They all, like, have their own separate beds in one room, but they sneak out through, like, a trap door in the floor.
Okay. And go dancing.
And go dancing in this, like, magic kingdom. So then the king basically tells, like, the king, like, the princes, I guess, of the kingdom, or not the princes, but the royals, like, okay, if you could find out how they're ruining all their fucking shoes all the time, you can pick which one you get to marry. Like, they're all getting married off. So, this is kind of a retelling of it. It strays a little bit from it, like, after the first half of the book. Like,
as all good retelling should.
Yeah, it was weird, because, like, I didn't really get into it until, like, maybe 3/4 of the way in. Okay. Like, it was definitely a slow start, and I was like, where is this going? Because it starts off kind of like a gothic romance.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay. Like, I kept thinking, like, when is this going to be over? Like, I'm kind of over it. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And then all of the sudden, all these things start happening, and it is twist after twist after twist. Like, what you think is going to happen at the end, you'll never guess it. Like, it's like one of, like... It's, like, one of the first books that I read where I thought that I had an idea of what was going to happen, and, like, it was totally so wrong. Far from what I thought. Like, you could not even imagine. Like, I was listening in my car, and, like, there was audibles, like, what the fuck is happening? At one point, something happened, and I was like, what? And the main character also said what at the same time, so we were both fucking confused. And I was like, this book is, like, batshit crazy. And it's a standalone, so it's, like, it's not part of a series. Like, it has a final ending, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't have to wait for a second book.
Yeah.
I was really surprised I enjoyed it, though. So, if you ever want to borrow that, feel free.
Okay, so, yeah, so
I have listen to it? I listen to it, but I have the physical copy.
Okay, I'm trying to get back into physical copies of books. Like, I did also start reading A Darker Shade of Magic.
Yeah, is that what you sent me a Snapchat of this morning?
Yeah. It's really, I'm not super far into it, but that's really good, too. It's, like, a male main character, which, like, meh. I'm not nuts about it. But it's, like, basically, like, kind of parallel universes. It takes place in, like, an alternate London. Okay. But there are also other alternate Londons that, like, magicians can travel to.
Okay.
It's really weird. But right off the bat, I was, like, picking the main character to be in love with this other dude. And I don't think they are. I found out they're adopted brothers. Oh. So then I was like, I gotta put that out of my head.
Like, there's weird sexual tension, but now they're related.
They're not related by blood.
Yeah, but, like...
But, I don't know. We'll see.
Some weird shit.
Yeah. But that's also really good. It's written really well so far.
I think that's a book I see on Book Talk all the time.
Yeah, that's what made me pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I need stuff that has, like, a deep fantasy world, I think.
It's pretty deep. It's, like one world is almost equivalent of our world. And then another world is just, like, straight magic. It's just London, so it's a little bit urban.
Yeah.
It's like urban fantasy.
I don't want to read, like, my thing is, though, like, I'm over books that have real places in them. Like,
That's
I
fair.
want all made-up fantasy places.
That's fair.
Yeah. Which is why, like, I think I'm enjoying, like, Red Queen series so much, because, like, everything is completely made up.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, while it has some elements of, like, okay, like, this is parallel to what's going on, but, like, it's just complete fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I fucking love it. So, this is a series I think I'd reread again.
It's really good. I'm glad you're enjoying it so much. I really am.
Yeah.
I get such a thrill when people enjoy my book recs.
I know.
It's so nice.
You've recommended that one to me for a very
I
long
have.
time.
I have.
And you
It's
told
taken me a long time to get you into it. I was going through my Goodreads. I think I first read that in like 2016 or 2017. So it has taken me 3 to 4 years to get you to read that.
I know. I just needed to be in the mood.
I know.
I was going through my Goodreads last night because I was like, I have to start taking some of these books off of here because I'm never going to fucking read them.
Yeah.
And, like, I removed a lot. I didn't finish doing it. I have to go through it again. But there were so many that I'm like, I really thought this was interesting. Like, what the fuck is this? So, I've added stuff, oh, man, over the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been using Goodreads, like, since it came out.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot on there. But, alrighty. That's it for us for this week.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week.
We'll see you guys then.
Okay, bye.